speaker for this morning. Sorry about that. Okay. Odianose Iseyare is a result-driven marketing communications professional with a rich background spanning over 10 years, specializing in digital and traditional advertising, SEO, analytics, and insights. His expertise lies in crafting and executing integrated marketing strategies tailored for B2B, B2C, and D2C audience segments. He has consistently led impactful marketing campaigns across the sub-Saharan African region that have delivered value to the organizations he has worked with. Beyond marketing, he is also bilingual in English and French, holding the prestigious diploma. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to pronounce this. Please don't laugh. Diplômé d'études en français, DELF from apologies for that, from Ministère de l'Éducation internationale in France. Wow. Okay, so today we know we are not just dealing with just anyone. So I want us to give a virtual applause to our speaker for today. Good morning, sir, and it's a pleasure to have you join us.
Thank you, Senator. I'm glad to be here. You can just call it DELF, D-E-L-F.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Just hope that the session will be useful to everyone. So please give me a moment. Let me try to share my screen for my slide. Sorry about that. Give me a moment. Okay. Let's try that again. Can everyone see my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so today we'll be speaking about sales psychology, understanding the buyer. Okay, sales psychology, understanding buyer behavior and motivations to improve sales performance. We'll be delving deeper into secrets to drive sales by understanding the psychology of buyers, or in this case, your customer behavior, and what are the motivations. Motivations meaning what are the drivers, or what makes people make decisions regarding purchases. So I think the first thing we'll speak about is emotional triggers. We may not agree, but a lot of people make decisions to purchase based on emotions. So a typical example is that you could see your friend wearing a pair of shoes and you like the shoes. And at that moment, you don't really need a pair of shoes, but you also like the shoes you see her wearing. I'd be like, where do you buy it from? Please, can you give me the person's number? So a lot of times, there's a psychology behind sales. It's not deliberate. Yes, there are things that we typically use regularly, like toothpaste, toothbrush, maybe soaps, and different other items that we use in the household, or we have a need to eat daily, but a lot of decisions that we make are triggered by psychology. Another typical example that's triggered by emotion is Coca-Cola. I think more recently, Coca-Cola started playing around emotion. So that sound you hear when you pop open a bottle of Coke, the sound you hear when you pour the Coke into a cup or a tumbler, it's a very unique sound because of the gas or the bubbles that you see inside. So it plays around your psychology. And before you know, you'll be like, I think I need to drink a bottle of Coke. By default, when people are thirsty, they typically go for Coca-Cola. But does Coca-Cola actually quench your thirst? No, water does a better job doing that. So there are emotional factors that influence a buyer's decision-making process, such as fear, desire, like I spoke about. You saw someone using a product, and status. So some products are built on status, like high-end mobile phones like Samsung and iPhones. A lot might not even have the monies to purchase those devices, but decide to save up because there's a status that goes with some of those products. Also, there's what we call pain points. So pain points are things along the buyer journey that makes the buyer uncomfortable. So it could be maybe customer service, it could be maybe delivery, it could maybe payment. So those are pain points. So you need to, as a salesperson or as a person that owns a business, you need to understand the specific problems and challenges your buyers are facing. There is a laundromat, dry cleaner close to the house. And there was a day I needed to make payment for my clothes from her shop, and my phone went out as soon as I went because my battery was kind of low. And I was like, don't you have a POS? He says he doesn't have a POS. That's a buyer pain point. Do you have alternative means of payment your customers can use? Can they use USSD? Can they use a POS machine? Can they use a transfer? Because you also need to look at convenience. Because once something is not convenient enough for a customer, automatically they move to another person that can deliver value for the service that they're offering. So, and also position your solutions or products as the ideal remedy. Thirdly, decision-making criteria. You need to understand that criteria buyers use to evaluate and compare options. And also you need to tailor your approach to their unique needs. Typically, when people need to make purchases, whether we like it or not, people buy from people, not from businesses. So you will need to get feedback real time about how the product is, does it function properly? I know someone like me, if I need to make purchases, when they are like high value purchases, I typically go online and read reviews about that product. What's the functionality? What are the key problems? Have people used it before? Do they have any merits or demerits to speak about the product? For businesses, I'll typically go to their Google reviews before I make a decision. How is the customer service? And I'll filter by the least, the least review, and start moving upwards to the highest review. That way, to give you an indication of how people see the business or the product that they are offering to their customers. Please, if you have any questions along the line, please feel free to stop me at any time so I can respond. Another critical thing is the power of empathy. It's really critical to cultivate connections by actively listening and demonstrating understanding of your buyer's concerns. And one way to do that would be for large businesses, they will typically do what we call focus group discussions. They will get people into a room. So large conglomerates typically do that before they typically launch a product. So they sample it to the market and get people to give first-hand information that have used it per time. On our ways, businesses use surveys to gauge people's connections to a brand or a business. So you send out surveys periodically just to gauge if you are doing the right thing. There's also what they call net promoter scores. That's for large enterprises, but surveys are really easy. You can send through emails and gauge customer sentiment about your brand, how they perceive your brand or your product per time. That way, you're able to make an informed decision how to better tailor your strategy or your operations to resonate better with your customer needs. So it's always good to get feedback real time from your customers. That way you can rejig or reiterate your process to be more efficient to respond to customer needs. Personalize the experience. You need to tailor your communication. So this has to do more with communication that you're sending out to customers. So you have like newsletters you send out or SMSs. For different email newsletter platforms, there's ability to customize. So you can actually put like hi Odianosa in this case, or hi Seyefa, or hi Emeka. It does give a personal touch as if you are sending to just that individual. Meanwhile, at the back end, you're probably sending to like maybe 1,000 or more people on your mail list. So it gives that human touch or human element to your communications with your buyers. So it makes them feel valued and understood. It also ties into what I said about surveys, which you need to send maybe quarterly or maybe half yearly, just to gauge what your audience is saying about your brand and where you can improve. Other things that people do is that they have a box, probably in their office or their premises, where people can fill a form and put it in there, and you can get like feedback on. These are lots of different methodologies to get real-time feedback from your audiences. You need to foster trust, credibility, and trustworthiness, showing that you have the buyer's best interest in mind. So if you run like a service where you run like a dispatch, so we know how busy Lagos can be, and some of the companies that do that really well are food delivery services. So you can easily like pay for food on an item you want, and things that people like Chowdeck and Co. And you can actually track from the time that the biker picks up, from the time your order gets approved to when the biker picks up your item. It just creates some set of transparency that builds trust with your customer along the line. Also, after people haven't bought your product, it's nice to gauge, okay, maybe after a couple of days or after a week, you can send emails to them. Can they rate their experience with buying the product? Then you can leave an open-ended field where there's any feedback they can give that will further improve service delivery, because like we all know, and we've been taught, customer is king, customer always comes first. But what is more useful is the customer experience when they're interacting with your brand or your product. So next, we'll be speaking about leveraging buyer motivations. Earlier on, I spoke about how humans, we typically, I won't say we're impulsive, but a lot of things that we buy are not necessarily because we need. They are based on wants or based on silent nudges. So one of them is things like intrinsic motivators. So you need to tap into your buyer's internal drivers, such as desire for personal growth, achievement of self-expression. That's why I see typically brands use people they call brand ambassadors to amplify the product they are selling in the minds and in the hearts of consumers, their target audiences. So the first thing you need to do as someone that owns a business, you need to understand who your buyer is. When I was reached out to present, there are a couple of questions I asked the lady I interacted with. I said, who is your target audience for this webinar? Because whatever you're offering a customer or the product or service, and when you're marketing to them, it has to resonate to those target groups. The kind of messaging I will push out to a Gen Z is not the kind of messaging I'll push out to a Gen X or millennials. Gen X are people typically within the ages of like maybe 50 to 65, the older generation. Secondly, kind of places you find them, you won't typically find older generation like my dad and my mom on places like TikTok or Snap. You rather see them on places like Facebook and WhatsApp. For Gen X, you see them on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. A couple of people, they have kids, will probably be on TikTok and also Snap. So different platforms resonate differently to different target audiences. So you need to understand your buyer persona, gender, age, their earning, even things like their earnings, at what range, their what is called social economic classification. Are they the high earners, people that earn between maybe 500 to like a 1 million naira? Those that earn between 50,000 to 100,000, because you cannot sell certain products to certain people within certain economic classification because it's way beyond what they can afford. So you need to really draw up your customer persona. That's what starts your sales drive before you then start adding things like their motivators and every other overlapping thing. So people typically have, like I mentioned, for intrinsic motivators, the desire for personal growth, achievement, or self-expression. Expression could be things like fashion, places they hang out, items they use. There's extrinsic, things like tangible rewards or benefits that aligns with your buyer's external goals and priorities. We also have social influence, like I mentioned earlier. Seeing someone wearing something gives like social proof, like, okay, I'm fashionable, I'm trendy, I'm stylish, things like that. Then there's aspirational drivers. So aspirational things like, okay, what people hope to be, things like that. So things like maybe study, a job, courses, things that typically enhance someone's development to reach their future goals. So different motivators either intrinsic, extrinsic, social influences, and aspirational drivers. More often than not, we find that most people are influenced by social influences. Like people typically they want to stand out and want to be seen that they are looking or they are in tune with what's going on in the society, as the case may be. Okay, so one critical thing is objections. A lot of people don't like to hear things like this, but there'll always be negative feedback when you're your business. Everything cannot always go smoothly. I need to prepare yourself to respond to incidences or situations where things did not go as well. For instance, a delivery did not go as planned. Maybe the dispatch driver had a breakdown and you couldn't deliver to a customer per time. Rather than make excuses like, okay, sorry, we couldn't deliver on time, it's always better to say things like, okay, sorry, we had operational challenges with the dispatch getting to you, but as soon as possible, we'll try and get the product to you as soon as possible. A lot of businesses shy away from just being open and transparent regarding certain situations. And in as much as possible, it's always good to be open and transparent. So you need to address concerns and roadblocks your buyers may have, empathize and validate. You must always try and see things from a customer's perspective. And if possible, give incentives. I know there was a time my wife wanted to purchase something. The item didn't come when it should have. I think the lady added something extra, just as a way of apologizing. Because whether you like it, businesses don't sell to people. People sell to people. And the biggest form of marketing is word of mouth. And word of mouth comes by personal experiences. So once you have a good experience with a brand, it's easy for you to sell that brand to any other business. So you need to be wary of what people say about your brand or your business when you're not there. You need to provide solutions. This is very critical. So 2 months ago, I went to get food. My office is in Victoria Island, so I went to get food at the place. I was just trying to reverse on Adeola, trying to reverse, and the car backed up and was not looking and rammed into my vehicle. My grill got broken. I called, thankfully I have insurance on the car. So I called the insurance broker, and during the conversation, they were trying to reconcile how they will make payment. Eventually they came up with an amount which was way less than the cost of purchasing that grill. And I told them I will not accept it. Then somebody from their team then called me. He then said, okay, because of the way my plan was structured, that he would do something for me. What he would do was that he was going to readjust it and ensure that I get almost equivalent to that amount. I got about 90% of the value of the grill to purchase it. And eventually I made the purchase. Actually, I took time out to visit the office and see that guy personally, because all the other guys in their team had told me that it was not going to be possible, but he made it possible. What that does is to reinforce customer satisfaction. And definitely, you won't want to leave that business. So you need to offer incentives. Yes, sometimes some things are cast in stone, but to preserve the integrity of your business, to preserve the relationship, more or less, sometimes you need to bend backwards to ensure that customer is satisfied. Will I recommend anybody to AXA Mansard? Yes, I will, definitely, for their services, because I had a very fantastic experience when I thought that they could not do more than they could, but they were able to bend backwards to satisfy me at that point in time. So it's very critical. You need to provide solutions to customer concerns, the objections, as the case may be, and you need to be empathetic about it. You need to put it, you need to feel the customer's pain regarding it so that they are satisfied in the long term. I'm going to pause for now. I don't know if anybody has any questions to ask, and I'll be speaking quite a lot. I just hope everyone is following. Hello, does someone want to say something?
Hello.
Hi,
Hello, good morning.
hi, is it Hikmat or Abdul Wahab?
Yes, good.
Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you for this insightful. Sir, you made mention of our target audience.
Yes.
You said maybe targeting rich people targeting age, those that if I'm not mistaken, those that loves fashion and the likes. How do we know that this is our target audience? Like basically, like let me assume I'm manufacturing clothes.
Sorry, a
I'm
manufacturer.
manufacturing wears.
Okay, so you make clothes.
Okay. Yes. So I feel like who can okay, let me my targets are adults. But how do I know that these are the particular people? Like maybe I wanted to target rich people. How do I know that these are the particular people I wanted to target?
Okay, so can I ask you a couple of questions? Do you sew for male or female?
Female.
So we'll have that out of the way. Female. Do you have a particular age group you sew for? Do you sew for babies, young children, or you sew for adults?
Adults.
Good. So you can see where I started defining your audience. You sew for female, you sew for adults. So an adult will start from, say, an age 18. We might have younger teenagers that their parents want you to sew clothes for, like during Ramadan and co, right?
Yes, yes.
Good. So very seeing that you typically be tailoring your clothes to Muslims as well as Christians, but probably more of Muslims. Do you sew, I think, is it abaya or is it abada they call it?
Yes, hijab, abaya.
Good. So you can see we've started defining your audience already. Female, adults, Muslim, right?
Yes.
Good. So now we'll go to pricing. What area of Lagos do you reside in? Or what area of Lagos is your shop?
It's not around like it's Ogun State, but closer to Lagos.
So your shop is in Ogun State.
Yes.
What part of Ogun State?
Lambe side.
Okay, is Lambeth close to Ibafor?
Vega.
Close to Berger.
Yes.
So most of the people that live in that area are actually low income earners and middle income earners. So you don't have like very wealthy people staying in that area, right?
Yes.
So that also will impact on your pricing as well. Because if you go and store an abada or abaya and price it at 100K, you definitely will not see anybody that will buy, depending on the cost of the fabric. So it's either you're offering fabric or they ask you to sew and you give them examples or you show them samples of fabric that they can afford and buy. Can you see we've defined the audience already? We started defining the audience. Female, Muslim. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Female, Muslim, adult, social economic classification based on where your business location is.
Yes, sir. An additional question, please. Thank you very much for the enlightenment. So what if, okay, I don't want to target those in my area. Like I want to leverage my business going to social media to target my audience.
So for that, you typically, if you are going to target the audience on social media, you've already answered the question. So you need to start doing paid advertising online. And paid advertising involves a lot of things. So I'll give an example. You buy thread, Abby,
Yes.
you pay for light.
Yes.
If there's no light, you buy petrol for generator, right?
Yes.
You pay for your shop costs, right?
Yes.
Good. So these four things I just mentioned informs the decision that you make on how much you charge people for sewing each cloth, right?
Exactly.
Hello?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Good. So what that means that your marketing costs now. So now you have an additional cost for marketing. So to be able to demonstrate what they call a return on investment, because everything now is an investment, shop cost, materials, electricity, maybe sometimes the machine might break down, there's wear and tear, you might need to repair, plus marketing. You need to build all those costs as your overheads. Then get to a price point that when you sell, you're able to recover over time all this your costs. So it has to be built in over time. So marketing cost is part of your running cost. A lot of people don't typically consider marketing or sales as an afterthought, but it should be built in. So people get very fine buildings, furnish the place looks nice and pretty. Next, they start sharing flyers up and down and say that they're marketing. But marketing is and should be part of your cost when you're budgeting for your business. So at the end of the day, when you take out everything and marketing and how much you've sold one material that you've sewn or you've made for people, You're able to say, okay, this is how much I've spent within a period, and this is how much I recouped. That's your profit. That's your return on interest. Your return on interest, yeah. Return on investment, sorry.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if there's any other question before I move on. All right. Okay, so cultivating buyer loyalty. We've spoken about transparent communication. So you need to maintain open and honest dialogue, keeping your buyers informed and involved throughout the sales process. So for some businesses, there's a part of when maybe you need to manufacture. After manufacturing, then you need to deliver. Sometimes you might say, okay, pay on delivery. Sometimes I say, okay, then you can come pick it in the shop. If there's going to be logistics, you need to be able to find out how much it's going to cost and build it, or if customer wants to come in separately. I need to ensure that your communication is transparent. So if it's already ready-made product, like maybe you own a food stall or something, your pricing is fixed already. But if it's maybe you've told the customer, okay, I'm going to get your clothes within 2 weeks, that's a promise. You need to ensure that within that 2-week window, regarding any other circumstance, you're able to deliver the item to that customer within that time frame. If not, it impacts communication, trust, and transparency. Exceptional service. You need to exceed your buyer's expectation by providing personalized, responsive, and consistently quality support. A lot of businesses do something. So typically you collect your information. On your birthday, they give you like coupons or discount codes just to increase customer loyalty. But one thing, this business reminded me on my birthday, I can even get like 10% off or 20% off on my birthday. You feel very elated. They won't thought of me so much. But it's a marketing strategy, really, to increase what they call customer retention. So you come and make repeat purchases over and over and over again. Deliver lasting value. You need to demonstrate your commitment to your buyer's long-term success by always finding ways to add value. In businesses, there's what they call cross-selling or upselling. So cross-selling, someone might want to buy a product. If there's also a complementary product that you can add to it. So for instance, I want to sew an abada or abaya. Then you can say, I can give you a brooch. Or if you want to buy with the brooch that you put, or is it pendant they call it, I can give you an extra, maybe 50% off for the brooch. Maybe if you want to purchase the brooches in bulk in Salico. So it's at really not much cost to you. You add it adds value. So things like that. So you need to think about what can I use to add value to my customer experience. Nurture relationships. Like I mentioned, people buy from people, not businesses. So you need to foster genuine and meaningful connections with your buyers, moving beyond the transaction relationship. I have a mechanic I've used for years, and I tell people that my relationship with him has transcended. It's very funny for mechanics, especially in Lagos. My relationship with him has transcended just being someone that works for me. He knows there was a time I had an issue some time ago, and he had to leave Lagos to Abuja when I was living in Abuja. And he came and fixed the car. He knows my wife, my mom, my dad, and some of my siblings. We've nurtured that relationship. And through him, I've also introduced, and from that relationship and that experience, I've introduced him to so many other people that have very, very nice things to say about him. Has it always been a good experience? No. We're human beings, there are always gaps. But the thing is that based on the overall experience I have had and every person has had, everybody has good things to say about him. So you need to move beyond transactional and get into a relationship with your customers. So this is a tricky one. I won't say tricky, but it's really important. And this will resonate better when you typically run your sales or marketing online. You need to be able to measure. So if you have a social media account, you need to be able to measure things like engagement. You need to check within the week, which particular days of the week do I post and when do I have the highest engagement if you are posting organically. If you are spending money, you need to be checking certain metrics. So typically for me, because I have a background in performance marketing, I don't look at things like impressions or clicks. I look at things like click-through rates. I look at things like cost per acquisition, especially if it's leading to a purchase. If my click-through rate is high, I know that my target audiences are that the collaterals or materials I have on my paid advertising channels is resonating with my target groups. If my cost per acquisition is low, I know that I'm getting value for my money. So I'm spending less to get more value. That's to get more customers. So that's some of the things that you need to look at. So a lot of social media platforms have analytics. People don't look at it. If you have your business or you're doing promotions on social media. So those are some of the things you need to look at. A lot of people will say, okay, you need to look at clicks, impressions. It's nice to have clicks and impressions, but if you're running a business and you're spending money for promotions, you're typically looking at the return on that investment. So for me, I look at the CTR and the cost per acquisition. So there's a flip side to that. So sometimes, depending on your industry, there might be good engagement, but conversion. There might be good engagement, but conversion is low. More often than not, you have to interrogate, and there are several reasons why that is happening. It could be maybe your advertising materials are stale, they've been there for a long time, so people are not engaging. It could also be that maybe people have lost interest in your product. So, for instance, there are certain products that are driven by economic indices, and people typically will have to reduce their purchasing power. Okay, like now, nobody is jackpotting again. So, all those organizations that typically have agents that help people to travel abroad, they are feeling the crunch now because it's only when you can feed and take care of yourself and your family that you think about leaving the shores of the country. So, regardless of how much you push in terms of advertising budget, regardless of how many engaging materials you put out there, if audience interest is not there, it's not there. So there are very, very different metrics one wants to look at, not just the CTR or cost per acquisition, like I mentioned. You also need to identify trends, uncover insights and patterns that can inform your sales strategy and approach. So if you have a website, for instance, and you can see, okay, certain pages are driving engagement and certain products are driving engagement, it can inform your decisions that you make towards your buyer behavior. There are also tools that one can use to know which platforms typically resonate better with target groups and audiences. Some are free, some are paid. So you need to look at trends and patterns to uncover insights that can help you define your marketing strategy. Then you need to refine. Some people say iterate. So there is no one-stop shop for marketing, especially when it involves digital channels. So you need to continuously refine and continuously change the process till it optimizes to deliver the most value. So that's why data is critical, especially for those. So things like website information, different pages, there are things you need to put on the website, plugins to be able to measure traction from the different paid advertising channels. There's email marketing. Also track things like click-through rates, open rates. Is the audience engaging with your product? So you just need to keep defining and refining the process up until you get a near perfect process that typically will deliver the most value for your money. So lastly, elevate your sales performance. So we've spoken about understanding your buyers, their motivations. So it's more about psychology of your buyer behavior to tailor your approach and build meaningful connections. You need to leverage buyer motivations. So we're talking about emotional, social, and aspirational drivers to drive sales and foster loyalty. We spoke about measuring and optimizing with data. So you continually need to analyze data and implement data-driven refinements to enhance your sales performance. So that brings me to the end of my webinar. I just hope it has been useful to everyone. I can take some questions now. I think we have like 20 minutes left. If anybody has any questions, ask. The floor is open.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Hikmat.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
So I can't see your hands because I'm sharing my screen. Okay, someone else raised their hand. Okay, go ahead. Maybe Taifa can help me to moderate the questions that are coming in. There are some messages in the chat as well.
Can I go on, sir?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
How can we launch a new product on social media?
When you say a new product, what kind of product? Can you be specific?
Okay, like crocheting, yes,
Crochet, is that like weaving?
bags.
Crochet, is that like weaving?
Um,
Like sweaters, that kind of material?
something of such.
Yeah, so what do you want to launch? You want to launch some products that you made through crocheting?
Yes, bags.
Yeah, so typically there's a phase in the buyer journey. It starts from awareness, consideration, then purchase. So you need to launch an awareness campaign. And awareness campaigns can typically be expensive, not to scare anybody, because you need to get the word out there that this is what you are selling. And more often than not, people don't know your brand, and you're competing in the same space with quite a lot of other businesses or organizations. So you start with awareness, then you need to run awareness for a period. After then, when people are in that consideration phase of your brand, there's what we call remarketing. If you have a website, do some bit of marketing for those that have visited your website after a while. You know those ads that you see that will be chasing you up and down. Go to like website, you see ads chasing you up and down that please come and buy, come and buy. You were supposed to buy before, you drop something in the cart. Do something like that, remarketing up until when people make a purchase. So there's a journey attached to that. Secondly, if you have a social media channel or platform, you need to post as regularly as possible. Helps to build credibility for your business. Not necessarily the number of followers, but the fact that you're constantly engaging your audience with useful content. So it starts with awareness. So that's a different conversation altogether. You need to put some money together to build awareness on social media about your brand. And from there, your buyers move to consideration before purchase. So it's not immediate. So for instance, sorry to use this analogy, you meet a lady for the first time, you ask her to follow you to your house now, unless maybe you're carrying some form of juju in your mouth. Then you need to nurture that relationship before she becomes confident enough to say, okay, I want to be your girlfriend, I want to marry you and stuff like that. There's a process. So a lot of people like to hurry that process that once I just put my product, people should just buy. But you need to understand that there are millions of other people on those platforms also that are looking for buyers' attention. So what makes you stand out from the competition? Hope I'll be able to answer your question.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Saifa, are you there?
Okay. Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay, I think everyone can still see my screen. So maybe we can take the questions here, then we'll then take questions from the house. Okay, I've answered this one from Hikmat. Good morning. How do I carry out these features in a food service business? Kelechi is virtually is Kelechi on the call, please?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Hi, please can you elaborate? Which features, please?
No, some of these points you've spoken about so far, how do you implement it in a food service business? You want to start off?
So your business, you sell food. Do you have a physical shop?
No. I'm starting from online.
Because you're starting online, that means you typically have to dispatch or deliver.
Yes.
Okay. So online, do you have a website?
I created one from the last webinar we did. I was able to create a website.
Do you have a website?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, I think you just need to tailor it accordingly based on what I described. So if you have a business, do you run promotions?
No, not yet.
So you need to start considering promotions. I know it might be a bit challenging because there's some money that needs to be set aside, but you need to start running promotion because we have other competitors in that space. I need to stand
Yeah.
out from people. Nothing you need to do, you need to ask your customers to leave reviews for you. It would have been nice if you had a physical shop. You would have opened a Google My Business account or platform. And wait, let me see if I can show you what I mean by Google My Business. Can anyone still see my screen? Hello?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Let me close this. Okay, I don't know. This is a Google My Business
Yes,
listing.
we can.
Yeah, so this is a Google My Business listing. I just clicked on it. One moment, it's loading. Okay, it's up. You can see reviews here. It's on a 4.7, 120 reviews. So personally, what I do is that I go here and check for the lowest review for customer experience and look at the most recent one. Very annoying experience. After doing the exam, it's a headache to get your result. They delay with silly excuses and are not even remorseful. I am very displeased. This is 10 months ago. The fact that emails are not sent promptly when results are out and there are no instructions. Now, this is something I really like to do. I had an exam on IELTS. My exam was by 11. I was at venue by 8. They called me, but this is 1 p.m. and I still haven't taken my exam. So this helps to gauge your business. So this is real-time feedback from people that have had first-hand exposure to the business. So you need something like this because it promotes your business. With a 4.7 review, despite the negative sentiment, this is really good because this is 4.7 over 5. So if you can probably get a small location or it's just like something that people can just like check out, it will be nice. And ask your customers to leave reviews for you after the experience. That will help to build credibility of your business. Also, if you have social media accounts, if you have the time, you can also post as regularly as possible. Twice a week is quite okay to start. And also make sure that your posts are not always transactional. So a lot of people typically will put posts about come and buy, come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. But you've not established a relationship with your target audience. So it's nice that maybe once a week you put something relevant to your business, not necessarily sales. Then maybe second day in the week, you start out maybe a Monday and a Friday. Second day of the week, you could put like tips for, it could be anything, maybe fruits that you can use to complement your meals, to have a balanced diet. That's something that is just really very relevant and does resonate with your target group. That way you see, you start having that pull effect to your customers because you're also adding value and not always being transactional. Once in a while, you can also do like special days. So you can do things that maybe a dikaikon, a pan for food that people will not normally eat, that if you can cook it. Maybe today's day special, first 10 people to order get 20% of their order. It creates a pull factor that get bulk purchases. And before you know, with the number of people that have made bookings, you can recoup that your cost. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. Customer service, nice present. Thank you. Network throwing me up and down. Apologies. So how do you market a new product that you just want to launch it in market? Product like paint. So same thing like the awareness phase, consideration phase up to purchase. Typically, if you are like a brick and mortar business, when I say brick and mortar, you have a physical presence. You don't do online marketing. You need to engage salespersons with targets. And also they need to have a thorough understanding of your product and knowledge of your product. I need to put them in the field. If you typically choose to go digital, like I mentioned, you need to have social media accounts. The purchase of the paints are going to be on your website. There are certain things you need to put on the website to be able to track. It's called marketing attribution. So what that means, basically all the channels that you are pushing promotion activity on that are delivering value for your business. So you need things like Google Analytics plugged to your website. You are using Google search or display or YouTube. There are tags you need to put on your website. You are doing the same for Facebook, Instagram. Please, if you are not, please can you mute your microphone? I don't know who that is. So then you need to put all those tags on your.
So we can't hear you.
I think someone muted me.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
I think someone muted me accidentally. Okay, so but basically, if you have a physical shop, like I said, you need to consider point of sale. Do you have POS machines? Can people do transfers? If you have digital on a website, how do people make payment on your website? How do you confirm orders? So there's a journey you need to consider end to end and the experience across each and every of those touch points. I call them touch points. So if you guys going online, website is one. Who decide to make a purchase, you need to pay. You need to ensure that, okay, what happens if someone's transaction does not go through? What is your refund policy? your refund policy, then what is also your, what's it called? If someone say, okay, they're not satisfied with the product, can they, what's your return policy? How long does it take for them to be able to return the product? Also, if you're going to dispatch, what's your policy on dispatching? Within 24 hours? Is it within 1 to 3 days? Is it between 72 hours? So a lot of things you need to consider when you are launching a product, or when you have an existing product in the market. Can you buttress on how to market a new product like quite many brands out there? Yeah, so same thing I've said. It follows for every single product. The only thing, there might be tweaks here and there. A new product, who uses condoms? Obviously, adults. You're promoting safe sexual practices. What makes your condom stand out? You need to, it's part of your USP in the market. Do you deliver, do you deliver, or do you have a shop where people come and purchase? Are you selling to consumers, or are you selling to other businesses? There's a lot that goes into it. And it's not something that you can discuss extensively in this conversation. So there are businesses that sell to businesses. There are businesses that sell directly to customers. So an example is, what product do I use now? Trying to look for a product that is a B2B. Okay, yeah, those are sales solutions. Like IT companies, they sell solutions to businesses, don't sell to consumers. Then also, there's also the B2B, B2C. So things like Dangote. Dangote sells to consumers, but they don't have like a shop you walk into, like a supermarket, you go and buy cement. You actually go through their distributors. So there's a middleman. So they do B2B. Then the B2B sell to you, which is B2C, business to consumer. So you need to define your model. Secondly, I think condoms will fall under pharmaceuticals. Manufacturers will sell to maybe people like hospitals, or people like pharmacies or chemists, as we call it. Those will then sell to end consumers. So you can't like go to a manufacturer and say you want to buy condoms, because the ticker will not retail. They'll sell in bulk purchases. And it's only big businesses or big organizations or their partners can buy those items in bulk before those people retail consumers. There are lots of things that you need to define across that when you want to launch a new product in the market. I don't know if that answers your question, Temitope. Okay, so Rejoice, how can you be unique in the marketing your product when you have much competitors? So basically, there's something that stands out from, there's something that you have or your business has that stands out from the competition. You need to identify what is your unique selling point. Is it the customer experience? Is it the way you sew? Is it the branding? Is it the way you get the product across to the customer? Is it your refund policy? Is it, you need to find out what makes your designs unique as a fashion brand. Is it that you're tailored to certain segments of the audience? You only sew for maybe children, or you only sew for high net worth individuals? They typically have to book appointments coming to see you. You need to define what makes your business unique and stand out from the competition. A typical example is Mercedes. You won't just go out of your way to buy a Mercedes-Benz. People that go to Mercedes-Benz do not accidentally buy Mercedes-Benz. They are buying an experience. So Mercedes-Benz will tell you that they're not selling a car. They are selling an experience. From the time that you open the door, the plushness of the leather, the interior, when you start up the car, the way the display looks like, the entertainment system. Most times they have like high-end entertainment system like Bang & Olufsen or Harman Kardon. They use regular speakers. You then know, okay, you're buying an experience. When you enter the car, when you come out, there's a certain prestige that goes with it. So those are some of the things. So Mercedes-Benz sells luxury. Toyota sells, sorry to say that, but Toyota sells a car for every person. So Toyota is not a high-end car. So if you're going to buy a high-end car, you're buying a German car. You know, once you're stepping up to a German car, you're buying luxury. You want to buy a regular car that will take you from point A to point B, you probably go for a Honda or a Toyota. So you need to look inside. What are the intrinsic motivators that will say, okay, what will make a customer want to buy my product? What makes me stand out? Is it the way I stitch my clothes? Is it the fabric I use? Is it the service I use? So you need to define that. So you need to find out what makes you stand out from the others. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Okay, Demilad is asking, who my business, is it an app? Yeah, it's an app, but it's available either on your phone or you can get it on your web browser. Just type Who My Business and you can open an account. Samitu Beans and Onions business. My target audience is Southwest, but I don't know how to go by it. Okay, I'm selling beans and onions. So beans and onions is something that people typically consume regularly. So again, where's your business situated? Do you buy in bulk or do you retail to people? If you buy in bulk, you need to figure out, okay, who are those people within your environment that typically will come and buy in bulk purchase and resell to end consumers. So same thing, you need to define all those parameters. Are you bagging your beans by yourself and probably selling, or do you use Moodle to sell in an open space? Those are some of the things. How much you typically a Moodle costs to define your profit margin. Those are some of the things. Then also storage, because I know sometimes beans you have to deal with weevils. How long do you need to store your item so it doesn't get bad? Onions to get perishable. You need to sell them within a particular period. So those are some of the things that you need to also define. I know there are people that sell food stuff online. So will you consider taking your business online so you can reach more people? I think we're out of time. We have like 2 minutes. Let me try and hurry up. Same thing with beans, red oil, gari. You need to put your product up online and engage regularly with target audiences. Let's see. Okay, please, how do I get 50 ladies to sign up for my 6-week self makeover bootcamp for $10? So why are you putting your pricing in dollars when people are in Nigeria? So I'll consider putting it in Naira. And your bootcamp, what are your makeover? What do people hope to gain from the bootcamp? What are you selling? What is the USP? What makes you stand out? So that would be typically what you use to pull people to attend your bootcamp. Then also you're saying ladies, what age group and category? Self makeover, would that be younger people, say maybe like an 18 to 30 or 34, or would it be for older women that like 50 to like 65? So you need to clearly define which of those target audience groups you want your bootcamp to speak with. And I'll encourage you to put your pricing in Naira, not in dollars. Okay, I think I've taken care of all that. I'm out of time, Safer, or do we still have some time to take questions?
Sorry about that. I was trying to unmute myself. Yeah, you can still, if you have the time and if people have a few questions, you can answer them.
Okay, so I can give 5 more minutes if you still have more questions. Anybody has questions, so I can respond to them directly before we call it a day.
Yes, I want to say something. This Oluchi.
Okay, hi, go ahead, Oluchi.
All right, thank you very much for the enlightening session. I was the one that asked about the 50 ladies signing up for 6 weeks self-makeover bootcamp.
Okay.
So you mentioned some things when someone asked about launching a course, and you mentioned that you need to engage in these 3 things: awareness, consideration, and purchase. I wanted to ask you a follow-up question on that. That does it have like a time frame where you just, okay, how long is okay to go through each of the phases before you now launch it? Like the awareness process season, like is there like a time frame?
So if you're a known brand already.
I don't know if you understand my question.
Yes, I do. I do understand your question.
Okay.
If you're a known business, like you've garnered quite a lot of engagement, either on your website or your platforms, awareness phase might not take so much. You might just want to put like maybe 2 weeks to do all that and start promoting. If you are not a known brand and you're trying to build credibility among your target audiences, you might need to launch your awareness phase for at least a month about your business. and generally your general offerings. Then in between, like midway in between the month, you launch a remarketing campaign that will sort of like solidify what you're asking people to do. And in between that, people then would convert. So let's say between 1 to 2 months, if you are not a known brand. If you're a known brand, I typically get customers already. Within 2 weeks, people can register for your bootcamp. It's just to even shoot out a newsletter to them, and they can also do a word of mouth marketing for you. I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay, that's very clear. Thank you very much. And then a
Do
follow-up
you have
question.
social media accounts?
If it does answer my question, thank you. And then
Pardon?
a follow-up question when you mentioned, yes, although I have been more engaging on WhatsApp, I have like a contact list and engage on WhatsApp, but not on Instagram or Facebook.
So why are you not on social media yet? Is there any challenge?
I don't know. I don't know. I've just been having, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know.
So WhatsApp is a bit limited because on WhatsApp, you typically would only be speaking to people in your contact list, right?
Yes.
But with social media, you have a wider reach because, okay, after a while, people that are in your contacts, you typically would be like, it would almost be like you're preaching to the choir because you virtually sold to everybody in your contact list after a while, and it becomes after a while, people get like tired of seeing messages. So I would encourage you to explore opening social media accounts where you can also amplify your messaging to a wider audience within your space. So maybe you live in an Ikeja, you can amplify it to people in Ikeja or even outside Ikeja, maybe the whole of Lagos.
Okay. Okay, I'll consider that. So with that, that's why I want to even ask. You mentioned something around promoting. So I wanted to ask, like, how effectively can one promote a digital product or an online course? Are you referring to Facebook promotion or digital promotion too?
If it's an online course, that means you have to do physical promotions. Are you the one teaching the course to them?
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely if you are selling a product to people, people need to see that you are a thought leader or you're an expert in that subject matter. So the more reason why you need a social media account. Because why do I buy a course from you when I'm not even sure you're an expert in that area? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand.
So you need to show to people with regular engagement across social media that you're good at what you do before you start selling a product that you want people to come and buy from you. I mentioned something about building relationships and establishing credibility. People won't buy from people that they don't know. Because how do I verify that if I pay, you're actually as good as you say you are?
That's true.
Okay, so it's something to consider, Luchi. Thanks.
All right, Okay, thank you very much.
Please keep the questions coming. You still have questions in the chat? Okay,
Yes,
to
good afternoon.
read more about me, I think they can put my the team organizing the webinar, they can put my LinkedIn profile there for you. So you can go check my work portfolio. They can share that during the call. Okay, Amaka, please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I've really enjoyed the lecture. I have a question. I don't know how peculiar my case is, but I feel it's very peculiar. I've been in Abuja.
You have a question.
Okay, I've been in Abuja. I just relocated to Lagos about I think it's almost 2 months now. And in Abuja, I was fully into business. I do poultry, I own a shop where I do phone accessories. But coming to Lagos, I don't know. I don't even know how to start that business again here. Doing the poultry, then merging it with my phone accessories. So with this training now, I'm just wondering how do I pull it out? Do I need to open a new Facebook page since this is a totally new environment for me? How do I go about still, because even from Lagos here, I still do my business in Abuja. But I really want to know how I can synchronize it into the Lagos business space, knowing that I don't know anyone there except the people I live with and then the church I go to. How can I bring back that business aspect of me here in Lagos?
So I think my question to you would be, when you were in Abuja, do you have a physical shop?
Yes, for the phone accessory, yes, I did.
So you
But
might
for
also,
the chicken, no, I was doing it at home.
so you might want to consider opening a shop here in Lagos as well. Or
Okay.
if you don't have the capacity to do that at the moment, you want to consider your social media account and tailoring your adverts to people in Lagos. So you need to be able to say, okay, do you have a physical shop where they can visit, or is it online? How do you build credibility online? You need to get people that you've sold to do testimonials. So people can do short 1-minute videos. I bought this phone from XYZ person. These are the features. Probably when they're unwrapping it, they can unwrap it. Probably you have like a custom bag you used to sell to them when you're delivering. They take it out from the bag, credibility. They open it. They probably turn it on. It's working. That can help enhance that. Probably pending when you're able to sort out a physical location. But for such high-end devices, because you and I know that phones cost quite a lot now, or even accessory, the case may be, you might also want to consider a physical shop. For chicken business, I think it's pretty easy. Do you have a, what's it called? Is it coop or what they call it now? Is it within your house, or do you buy is it what's it called? Do you sell live animals or it's processed?
We usually would process.
So you process.
Yes.
So it's be worthwhile to take people through that journey. You take a video and put on social media. How when you rent chickens, week 1, you do week 2, they are mature. Week 3, this is the process we used to prepare the chickens. This is how we store it. You can see that the environment is clean. It's then up to delivery. Maybe someone has come to pick up in their vehicles and you load inside their vehicles. You want to do something like that, then merge the video together. That would help a lot. You can put that on social media and promote it so people come to your page and make inquiries by calling you or reaching out to you on WhatsApp.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, I think I've exhausted my time here. I'd like to thank Omozele. I'd like to thank Seifa and the entire team that conducted this webinar, and every other person that has asked questions. I hope it has been a useful session to everybody. I'll put my LinkedIn page for everybody to go visit. If you want to reach out to me after now or make inquiries, I'm available. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, Hassan Rofiat said I'll answer her. Okay, what was your question? I want to start my household appliances kitchen business. Should I start my brand awareness first? Yes, Rofiat, for every business, you need to start with awareness. And what is awareness? Ensuring that enough people know about your business. So you can do that either by engaging with them one-on-one. Some people use flyers. You can engage with them online by putting content about your business on social media, as the case may be. You can also do word of mouth. You can speak to people within your environment that this is what I do. These are maybe people that have also used your product in the past or engaged with your business. Normally, people start with family members or close friends and associates. They can leave testimonials about your business, which you can share with other people, either online or on your social media platforms. And to open social media accounts now is very, very easy. So you can start with testimonials. People say, okay, I bought from this person. This was my experience. I also mentioned things about Google My Business. If you have a physical shop or you're using your house address, you can put your business listing on Google My Business, and from there, every other person that interacted with you should leave reviews, real-time reviews. That helps to build credibility for your business. Because I know typically for startups, and when you want to go through the awareness phase, it might cost a lot of money. But you could start small, ask people to give reviews about your business, and you respond to customers that typically have had negative experiences with your business, and you scale up from there. If you're considering a website or social media account, you engage with people regularly and stuff like that. And I also mentioned you should not always sell to people, especially when you're starting a business. You can also put things like, okay, how to store this business. I've seen this pot or this aluminum pot. It's good to cook beans. to save time while cooking beans, use a pressure pot. There are different ideas that you could push out there that are useful to people that will keep them coming as returning customer. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Odiano Seyare. It was really nice having you and having to benefit from your wealth of experience. We hope we can have you come back again to pour more knowledge. Sorry, we're Oliver Twist, but I mean, no knowledge is wasted. So thank you, sir, for finding time to speak with us today. Over to you, Seifa.
Okay, much sir for having us. I mean, Omar has already said everything. She took the words out of my mouth. We really appreciate your time. And I know it was a very useful session for everyone that came on the call. So thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. And we'll definitely reach out.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Okay, so for everybody on the call, please, before you leave,